Alright, Sunday, August 12th, 2018. Checking in on Sunday. We're hoping everyone is having a good weekend so far. Today we wanted to focus on the crypto side of things. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin in terms of where we see the price potentially going here towards end of year. And before we do proceed, always remember, like discussed previously, nothing that we talk about on these videos is intended to be investment advice. Everything is strictly our opinions. And before you take a look at investing in everything, it's always very, very smart to do your own research, do your own due diligence, what they call #DD. So make sure you're always doing that before making any moves financially. And pulling up CoinMarketCap here, people in the crypto space are going to know that CoinMarketCap is a great place to take a look at all the cryptos and how they're doing. And Bitcoin, for the most part, is going to be what you call the overall index of crypto. Bitcoin is so massive in terms of its size. If you take a look at its market cap, you can see that its market cap is substantially larger than all these other cryptocurrencies. So when we think of Bitcoin, many think of it as the overall index. So whatever Bitcoin is doing, in a sense, chances are a majority of the market is going to be doing that as well in terms of price action. So on a normal day, if you take a look at Bitcoin and you see Bitcoin has been down on the day, generally speaking, you're going to see a majority of these other cryptos in red, just like we see here. Now there is the argument, and I've made it multiple times, that eventually Bitcoin could be taken out of the #1 spot in terms of market cap, and that's something that we'll have to talk about at a different time if that ever does happen. But especially something like Bitcoin with the technology behind it, there is always the risk factor that someone else is going to come in, they're going to improve upon their crypto and do things that Bitcoin has trouble doing, in a sense. And if you take a look at Bitcoin internally, you'll see that it does have some issues. It really does, in terms of transactions cost, in terms of speed. It does have its issues, and that's what some of these other cryptos are trying to do to catch up to Bitcoin, in a sense. So as of now, in terms of market cap, Bitcoin is going to be the overall index. Bitcoin is what everybody knows when they think crypto. So as of now, we focus on seeing where the price of Bitcoin is to kind of determine how the overall crypto market is doing. Now, price point. Okay, and everybody has their own opinions on where they see Bitcoin going. Now what we have done here is we've pulled up a chart, simple chart, a few different studies, nothing crazy. We typically don't like to do all sorts of studies in terms of technical analysis. Some of these charts you'll see online have 50 different studies going on at once, and that's just ridiculous in our opinion. If you can find a few that work for you, it's going to be much more easier on you, and it's going to be much easier on your eyes. So, pulling up the Bitcoin chart, what we were looking at a while back here, actually as of recent, is we were really looking at Bitcoin accepting this 8,811, what we would call resistance level. We thought that this level was strong, and if broken, could potentially have it retesting the 10,900 level. So that was something that we were watching closely, and if you take a look over here at this circle that we drew, it got pretty darn close. As of recent, the price went up drastically, and many people thought that we were going to break this resistance level and enter in what many call #alt season. But there are a couple different factors that came into play here. Right around these levels, there was hype about the SEC and them potentially accepting a Bitcoin ETF, and the main catalyst in that was a company called VanEck. They're trying to roll out a Bitcoin ETF. They're a company that has many other funds. So if you look up VanEck Bitcoin ETF, you'll see that the first news that comes up is the SEC delayed the Bitcoin ETF decision. So that was what was going on right around these levels. And after that announcement, you actually saw Bitcoin sell off, all the way back down to the 6,000 levels. So it was a crucial point, in our opinion, just because there was a lot of price action here on the upside, maybe predicting that ETF was going to be approved and that you're going to see a massive amount of money pouring into the crypto space because of it. So sell-off definitely occurred. It's not the end of the world. This decision was just delayed. There was no actual decision made. So there can be many different reasons that happened. But it also does, from a technical standpoint, raise some questions. And like we mentioned in our initial video, technical analysis is not going to be the ultimate answer to identifying where crypto is going to be going, just because it's such an early concept that, in our opinion, you can't really base your decision 100% off of just technical analysis. There has to be more that goes into it. But if you're going to do it, you're going to have to do it with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, we have some of the most data on, rather than pulling up technical analysis on, VeChain, for example. VeChain, you're not going to want to do technical analysis on that 100%. You're going to want to do a little bit more fundamental research on what the heck VeChain is. But, Bitcoin, there's a lot more money involved in it. The market cap is huge. So we can take a look at it from a technical standpoint. And the one thing that we're thinking right now, and as bad as it sounds, it could be something that happens. With Bitcoin rejecting this resistance level at about 8,800, it could very well occur that Bitcoin retest the 5,400 levels before, even attempting to retest these levels. That could indeed happen. We've seen, for example here, we have seen Bitcoin right now sitting around 6,376. So it is holding these levels pretty strong. You do see some support in here. But you can't rule out the 5,400 range. It's definitely another support level that's going to have to be, not rejected in a sense. So this could happen. We could see the 5,400 support level obtained here, and that'll be a crucial support. There has been some other institutions coming out saying that Bitcoin could retest the 5,000 level before even going up. But our main focus right now will be the 5,429 support level, and it's going to be interesting as everything ramps up here, as the SEC comes to some sort of conclusion. It could get very interesting in terms of either the upside or the downside. So we'll be watching Bitcoin closely, and with watching Bitcoin, obviously going to be watching some of these other cryptos, because historically speaking, where Bitcoin goes, these other ones go. And with the fall of Bitcoin from 20,000, you've seen all these other ones fall tremendously too. It seems like yesterday XRP was at $3 back in January. Now it's 30 cents. So ridiculous how quick some of these fell. But at the end of the day, there's a lot going on the fundamental side of things, and it's going to be interesting to see where everything goes.